Today we're going to be talking about respectful workplaces, anti-harassment and discrimination. Your company is committed to promoting a work environment that is fun, respectful, and harassment-free. As we go through this course, we're going to learn about what is a respectful environment. What does it mean to you? We're also going to learn about communication and how we can use communication to increase and enhance our respectful work environment. We'll talk about the basics of discrimination and harassment law and understand what happens in the workplace and how to deal with it if harassment does occur. We'll also talk about what happens when harassment does occur when we get to an investigation. We'll end the course with a quiz that you'll take to test your knowledge. Here's a couple examples of quid pro quo harassment. The first is, I'll put you on the schedule that you want if you'll go out with me tonight for dinner and drinks to discuss it. So it's implied here, if you don't go for dinner or drinks, you're not going to get that schedule that you're looking for. And whether this is true or not, that's how the employee feels in this instance. The second example is the old Dilbert comics. Catbert is the evil HR director and is saying, "It has come to my attention that you use company resources to send an email to your boyfriend. I'm willing to overlook this ugly incident in exchange for 5 minutes of quality petting on my soft, furry belly." And the employee is sitting there thinking, this seems a little wrong to me. And Catbert is just happy and enjoying the whole thing and is implying that if this employee does not do this, that she's going to then be reprimanded for the email that she sent. Quid pro quo is a pretty obvious form of harassment. This for that, you do this, and I'll do this for you. It's a little bit less likely to happen in the workplace, I think, because we're educated and we're learning about harassment. The second form of harassment is hostile work environment harassment. Hostile work environment is the conduct, pictures, words, or touching that interferes with a person's job performance or creates an intimidating or offensive working environment. So this isn't necessarily that you're doing something for me and getting something out of it. This is just that overall uncomfortable feeling coming to work. So what is prohibited when we talk about creating a hostile work environment? Could it be written? Written may be emails or a memo or jokes that are being sent around. It could be visual. It could be a hang-up of a poster, of a picture of women or men dressed inappropriately. Or it could be physical, touching somebody. Some people don't enjoy being touched in the workplace, and so touching somebody on the back and saying good job or on the shoulder might be very uncomfortable for an individual. Or it could be verbal. I always think of this verbal as that water cooler talk. A bunch of people standing around the water cooler on Monday morning and talking about what they did over the weekend. Is everybody comfortable with that conversation, or are there people that hear it, either are part of it because they're part of the group, or maybe it's a coworker sitting nearby that has to hear somebody talk about what they did every weekend, and it gets uncomfortable for them. They don't want to hear that. That's not their value system, and so it's uncomfortable for them to hear that. Essentially, any behavior that includes unsolicited and unwelcome contact that has a sexual or discriminatory overtones could be hostile work environment harassment. The keys here are that unsolicited, so that you didn't necessarily ask to be a part of this discussion or get that email that had a dirty joke on it, and it was unwelcomed. You really didn't want it. So you got that email and now you're kind of like, ugh, I didn't want that, I don't agree with it.